I could not believe my ears. We work out of this place. There's a lot of other people that come in and use the studios exactly like us for free, but owe the guy money for something else.
Yeah.
So every day when we come into the studio, it's like been set up for another show.
Yeah.
So there's probably other shows that you've seen that like look totally different but happen in the same room. So when we come in, our studio looks nothing like what it looks like when we actually use it.
Yep.
We've got like a bit of a system. Like we bring in our stuff, we have to move all the cameras and the lights and stuff.
Yep.
Then we replug everything in and, you know, we're good to go.
Yep.
It's a bit of a process, but that's how it works.
That's how it is when you're borrowing a space.
So this morning, I was at my desk. Oh, not my desk, one of the desks. And
A random desk with Tony's stuff on it.
yeah, I was at a hot desk.
With a Toni and Ryan sign on it.
That potentially may have or may have not been my desk. And I was like typing something up for before we got started today. And I hear like a bit of hubbub in the studio.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't crazy.
Okay.
But it was a bit like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
And so I kind of trotted in with my computer and I was like, oh, what's going on? And you guys go, you're both standing there looking at the power board.
Yep.
And from the camera are these two, like, cables going into the middle of the room, like, but basically, like, they were in the air.
Yeah.
And they were just plugged into the power board. Like only just, and the power board was like
Off the
hovering
ground.
in the air because the both things were like so tensioned to like, because they was too far away. And I walk in and I go, what's the problem? And you guys said, both of you said, I think, I can't actually even fucking say it. Both of
do you want to run through some options, what it could have been, then I'll say the line?
So I'd actually, there's no words, honestly, for this, because you both had come to the conclusion and then shared with me, a third person, that the cables had obviously gotten shorter because they didn't reach.
So are you saying that some other people may have gone, maybe you usually plug it in at the thing next to it?
Yep.
Maybe you usually use that long extension cord. No.
All good
Someone
options.
has come and taken the cable and just shortened it.
Snipped a little bit off.
Fused it back
soldered
together.
it back together.
And we both went, yeah, that's obviously what's happened.
I could not believe my ears that both of you said, the cables obviously, like genuinely, you weren't even taking the piss. Both of you said, the cables, they've obviously gotten shorter. Like, you were so perplexed at the idea that was the only option.
Maybe the cameras are a bit further away than last time, Ryan.
There's like so many practical options for what could have happened. And I said, no, it's because we normally plug that into this PowerPoint.
See that PowerPoint right next to the camera?
And then you see the other thing with the massive fucking cable. I normally plug that into the one that's further away. The one that you're currently trying to plug the cameras into. And you went, oh, no. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm not here to defend myself.
Well, I was actually about to offer you if you would like to try and defend yourself, because I mean it's just going to be good, isn't it? The thing is, actually, before you try and defend yourself, I just like to keep talking. I don't like the term like "had a boy look" because I think that it's really reductive and not helpful. We don't gender stereotype here.
No.
But if I've ever seen a case for calling something a boy look, me walking in on the two of you scratching your heads going, the cables have to be shorter. There's like, they've just, obviously the cables have gotten shorter. I mean, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Okay, so I have often been accused of being a boy looker. So we were measuring, because we're like setting up the baby room.
And you've just moved.
Yeah.
So there's like, you know, you're measuring stuff going, oh, like we could fit this here and whatever.
So in the middle of an empty room that's just carpet, in the middle of the room is sitting a tape measure in the middle, because we're kind of measuring like how big can the bed be, where do the cupboards fit. Before we go buy stuff, we want to make sure it's going to fit. And so it's a plain room with a tape measure in the middle of the carpet. And Bridge goes, yeah, it's in the baby's room. And I go, but is it in the cupboard? Is it? And she goes, it's in the room. And I went in and I went through the cupboards. I went through the drawers and I was like, Bridge, I'm not being a dick. I don't know where it is. And she goes, did you look or did you have a boy's look? And she goes, if I fucking come in there and I see it sitting in the middle of the floor, and I'm like, what do you mean? The floor in the cupboard, the floor behind the door? And she goes, it's... I don't...
Oh my God, I would have punched you.
Yeah, and then so she gets up with her pregnant belly, waddles up the stairs.
Waddles up.
Oh,
Fuck, you'll be paying for that.
Nah, it wasn't a waddle, but it was definitely
It's a
like...
slow walk.
It's a slow walk.
Yeah.
And then she walks up and goes, see that? Like there's nothing else in the room. What the fuck do you think that is? And I went, oh, on the floor.
Oh, someone's made the floor invisible in here.
They've shrunk that.
That's shorter than I remember.
Sometimes I think it's like I've overcomplicated it.
And I do think, you know that, oh, I should never back myself into saying a saying. But you know when it's like the chess player can't see the thing, but the person watching the chess player can, like...
The forest through the trees?
Sure. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
do you know the saying that I'm
You're too
trying
close
to
to
get
it.
at? Yeah. And sometimes you go in thinking, I've got to search for it, when really if you just zoomed out a little bit,
Yeah.
you'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit different. That's stupid,
Well,
but different.
If I had zoomed out
you
this
said, no, that there's no zooming that could have helped you.
But if I
because
zoomed out, I
you
would have seen
thought-
the other PowerPoint.
No, I don't think you would have, because you said the cables were shorter. You didn't say I can't find the cables, or I can't find the PowerPoint, or I can't find the extension lead. Your solution was that the cables had literally, not figuratively, not metaphorically, had literally gotten shorter.
So when I forgot that, you know when you go to a car park and it's like, they just have random signs and colours?
That is my biggest nightmare.
When it's like, you're in B4 orange.
Yeah, and you go, well, I'll forget that in 5 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, so we come out of the shops and I go, I'm pretty sure it was B4 orange. And Bridge is like, I'm pretty sure it was B6 orange. Right? It's one of those ones. And not like in a testy way, but we were both like, oh, do you remember? I think it was this. I think it was that. I don't know.
And because when you're getting out of the car, you're always like chatting about what you're going to the
Gonna
shops
buy,
for. Yeah.
Talking shit, whatever. So it turns out it was in B6. And I went, oh, do you reckon someone's moved it to B6? And Bridge goes, nah, that's actually just where we park. I was like, oh, but do you reckon someone moved it from B4? And I wasn't even being a dick. I was just, in my mind, I was like, but how did it get to B6?
But see,
it was clearly in B4.
How can you be so like cocksure about something?
I'm sure about my cock, mate.
But how can you just like back something in that hard? That is not possible. If someone got into your car, like, because we're assuming that this was like a random person that's moved your car. It wasn't the valet. Like,
Yep.
you know, you're at the fucking shopping centre.
Yeah. Do you reckon someone's moved that?
So you're assuming that someone's like broken into your car and driven it instead of stealing it
And just moved it
and
down
just
there?
moved it.
And parked it just as shit as I did?
Yeah, but like,
To throw off any suspicion?
but in that situation, isn't that person just driving out and
Probably,
like,
yeah.
you know, taking the car?
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, I'm not a robber, but that's probably, if I'd gone to the trouble of breaking in already, I'm not just moving the car.
Did you see about the car that was stolen on the news and it had the baby in the back?
Oh, that happens a bit, doesn't it?
So-
oh, that's so scary.
So we're watching and it is scary and the lady's like, you almost like, hey mate, if you want the car, you can just have it, but just let me take the kid out of the back. And so she's screaming, my baby, my baby. So the guy drives off out of the parking lot and then obviously the driver's going, oh fuck, there's a baby in the back.
Yeah,
And-
like I've bitten off more than I can chew.
But and go, oh, I can flip the car for cash, but am I going to raise this kid now?
Yeah,
Like,
is this mine?
Is it? What do I do? And obviously, like the conscience has kicked in.
Because
And
it will, like,
So they go. Oh, they've been meaning to use that sound effect for ages. They do a U-turn, drive back, and go. Sorry, ma'am. Here's the kid. Hope she's not. The kid's crying. I'm really sorry about that. I am going to take the car, but just I wanted to make sure the baby's okay. And
Yeah.
the mum's like, oh, okay. And that's like, yeah, and then and then sped off and stole the car again.
that's less crazy than you thinking that the cables were short.